quite spectacular. It says, "I love China." Alright everybody, I arrived in the city of Guangzhou and it's my first stop inside of China. Immediately once I landed, I had to come to this area called the Shamian Island. If you look around in the buildings, it's actually there's a lot of British influence. We got two ladies here dancing. This one looks like Chinese and then this one looks European. Obviously this place is not as touristy as I thought it would be. There are also locals walking around, you know, just exercising, and then there are just a few, you know, police officers patrolling the areas. And I actually saw somebody get their wedding photos taken here. But I have to say, this place is very, very pretty. They've done a really nice job. There's like an alleyway, not an alleyway, but a big street in the middle where there's a lot of statues and flowers. The flowers are really making a big impact. Gotta listen to what Broski says. So when I was in Guangzhou, the weather was actually really amazing, and so, you know, I just walked around. I saw a lot of aunties and uncles dancing and singing, and they love to dance because it's a good way for them to socialize with one another and also exercise. Then I took a bus and I got some really damn good beef noodle. Like when I say good, I mean it's really good. And I then went over to the center to get some boba tea because I love boba tea. And I realized that there was a lot of debris, so I was assuming that they had some kind of event, but they took everything down. You know, Guangzhou's international hub has international ports and international brands. They had a lot of stores there. I then went over to this temple hoping that I could go in, but apparently it was closed that day, so that was a bummer. So, you know, why not take the time to just go to the Guangzhou Tower? But it was raining. Bummer. Hello everyone, and welcome back to me eating. I got myself some extra dinner because the Pizza Hut in Guangzhou is really not good. The pizza is just... Here goes a goose. Damn, a random store can do this? That's crazy. What I love about this duck is that there isn't too much fat, so you know this duck is like a healthy duck. It's not like a duck on steroids. I would love to do more of these eating stuff in the actual restaurants, but I'm too shy. And today I got takeout because Pizza Hut wasn't very good. So I'm gonna eat the rest of it. I'm gonna continue watching my C-drama, and peace out. Alright everyone, now I am in Guangzhou near the Chen Square. Behind me over here is the Canton Tower, or the Guangdong Ta. My Chinese is not very good. However, you know, for me it's so surreal to be able to see this tower over here, because like ever since I was small, I've only seen this tower on textbooks or like YouTube. So it's like, bruh, like I'm right in front of it. The architecture is pretty cool, and like the mathematical concepts to it is pretty cool. So essentially you have two ellipses, one on the bottom and one on the top. And if you were to just match it vertically down, you get like a cylinder. But if you twist it like from A and you diagonal it for the whole ellipse, you kind of get this nice tower. So right now I'm kind of like waiting for it to hit nighttime because the tower lights up and it looks so much more cool. Right now it still looks cool, but it's like very gray, and it doesn't help that it's kind of raining. On Wikipedia it says that this tower was inspired by a human joint. I don't know how this looks like any human joint, but I guess. As you can see, there's also like a lot of other people also just waiting for it to hit nighttime. And then there's a ferry over there that you can take to go to this side, which is a legendary Canton Tower. I'm not gonna go up it because I don't think there's much. I think inside of there is just like touristy observation decks, and then like some TV stations in there, so it's not that interesting for me. Also, I tend to realize that when I look forward to see like a tourist attraction, I typically don't really look at the things behind me. And I mean, look, this is like behind the Canton Tower and it's just as beautiful. Also, I realized that in China, there is a more modern area and then there's also like a less modern area. So this is definitely one of the more modern area, like you have all these business financial centers. However, in the less modern area, there are like factories and just like a lot of selling of stuff. So I was walking through one of the areas that they were like selling a lot of like clothes. There was also selling a lot of like LED signs, but I realized that there are no like actual customers going into the stores to buy things. It's more so they were using like TikTok shops. Yeah, it was a pretty eye-opening. Like I know China was a very big exporter, but it's really cool to see it like firsthand. The weather gods are not gonna help me during my time here in Guangzhou. I open my weather app and I just see a whole week into the next week as well that's just full raining. Also, these past few days I've been just trying to chase the sunsets. So I'm always trying to get outside, be outside at around like 5 or 6 to just catch the orange and red skyline. Other than that, right now I'm just waiting for it to sunset, waiting for the nighttime. And also behind me, can you see that? It says I love China. You know, I do like China. I also do like the US. You know, a lot of times these political stuff, it's not a fight between the people, it's just a fight between governments. So it is what it is. Alright, finally hit nighttime and look at that. It's like a rainbow color. So there's some dude who was selling this like mini replicas with these flashing rainbow colors. I'm like, why is he selling it rainbow colors? But now I understand why. And as you can see, there's a lot of people around me taking pictures. Yeah, it's the vibes here. Alright, now that I'm done seeing this tower, it's time for me to grab some dinner. I haven't eaten since like 11 and I should not be eating one meal a day, so let's get some food. Just look at all of these lights. I think one of the things that China likes to do a lot is that they have a lot of light shows during some busy like parts of the town, like the financial sectors or just like tourist attractions. It just gives the infrastructures more silhouettes during the nighttime, which is quite spectacular. You know, I've always known that China has great infrastructure, like the high-speed rails, the trains, the buildings, but I've only seen those inside of like online, so getting to experience this firsthand is seriously just a privilege. This was the end. No, actually, this bottom part over here that you see underneath is actually a mall. So there's full of food and like drinks, and I'm just gonna see what we're gonna eat and drink for tonight. All right, now I'm gonna get some food in the square. I'm too embarrassed to record myself getting food, or I mean, there's a lot of people here, so peace out. Alright everybody, we all know girls like flowers, girls want flowers, but guys also want flowers. And so I've never given anyone flowers except my mom, and I've never received flowers, so I'm gonna get it myself. So currently we're in Yuntai garden, and apparently this is the largest landscaping flower place in the whole of China. And a lot of the CPC leaders and just a lot of politicians also visit here, and they really enjoy it. And I am no politician, but I am also low-key, high-key enjoying this. I mean, like, look at all these flowers. You got different windmills, you got different shades of flowers. These are not artificially made, these are actually just flowers colored this way. And then you got some pink flowers over here. You know, just chill vibes all around. Chill vibes all around. Alright, now we got even a bigger windmill. Pretty cool.
and some assorted flowers down here. And then we also see a clock. You see that behind me? They also had this in Taiwan. It's like a flower clock. I don't know what's so popular about it, but I mean, it looks good, right? Also, I can't tell if you guys can hear it or not, but there's a Studio Ghibli theme song playing on the background. Everything here makes sense, you know, you got flowers, you got fountains, you got windmills, you got Hiruma and Studio Ghibli playing in the background. But what I don't understand is, why is there a KFC truck? Hold on. I don't think I see the actual KFC yet. Tell me, why is there a KFC truck over here? Makes no sense. But I guess fried chicken and flowers go together. Maybe? For some reason, this gives me Cali vibes. I think there might be like a building in Cali that looks like that. Alright, behind me before there were two couples actually getting the marriage pictures taken together, but it just reminds me, like, damn, in a few years, like, maybe that might be me, but that's like so far away. Anyways, that is the place that they were taking pictures of, like at, and it's just like a really big fountain. Kind of like gives me some vibes of like Rome, even though I've never been to Rome. And with the wind blowing, like all the water is actually splashing onto me, so I could actually feel it. But it feels super refreshing because I am currently so freaking humid because it's like 85 degrees. And you're telling me in this weather it's gonna rain soon? I'm not very convinced, but I really do hope it doesn't rain. Now we are in the rose garden. And the moment I stepped into this garden, I can actually just smell all of the rose and just the fragrance. And low-key, it smells like Molly tea. Like the jasmine tea. Now I'm wondering, like, do they put rose petal inside of their tea to get the fragrance? Because that would be kind of crazy. I think I just found out their secret. Also, inside of this rose garden, I would have expected there to be a lot of bees, but actually no, I see there's like a shit ton of dragonflies. They were just like hovering and buzzing all over on top of me, and it was kind of overwhelming. But now we are safe because we're under this, whatever this thing is. Yeah, and also I wanted to keep it chill today because tomorrow I'm going to be taking the metro and the high-speed rail all the way to Guangzhou, which is going to be quite tiring because it's like just going to like another city. We'll see how that goes. So today I didn't want to walk too much because tomorrow I know I'm gonna walk a lot.
只剩下我自己。